Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's SMZ3 match. We've got a really good one here for the SMZ3 tournament. We got Maniacal versus Audraxys. This is a top eight, four match, I believe. But it should be a really competitive one, both longtime players in the SMZ3 community. I am joined on commentary by Fox. How are you doing, Fox?
Hello, I'm doing great.
Well, great. And we've got Diometheus on tracking, helping us out, making sure we're on top of everything today.
And our runners are off. It looks like E-Tank in Lake Hylia.
Yep, and nothing necessary at Link's house or Sanctuary. You've got nice to see two different routes. Audraxys has taken the slightly more conservative approach of getting this tree pull, checking Uncle, looking for bombs or rupees before you go to Kakariko, just to make sure you don't get stuck without those. Have him do that slowly. Make sure you get the bottle vendor.
Yep, and let's see what's on Uncle. Ooh, mirror.
That's interesting. That'll save Audra a couple frames in the Sanctuary here. Assuming that's where they're going to start.
Only a heart container on Lumberjack Ledge, so. Potentially no Aga today.
Yeah, we saw just one tree pull from each runner, but there's some rupees in the Lost Woods. That's really good for both of them to not have to mess with their Kakariko routing too much.
Yeah, it also sets them up for Zora, at least a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're well on the way to that. And we have the map check from Audra early. I like that. Just getting that information as soon as possible. Seeing the pendant was Pendant Desert, Green Pendant Hera, I believe, and just a regular crystal at Eastern. Did I see that correctly?
I totally missed the map check. But maybe our tracker will have that up soon.
Yeah, looks like confirmed in chat. Thank you, DJ.
Thank you.
I kind of like Maniacal's play to save and quit out of the Lost Woods after getting that lamp, since no bombs, still having to walk past all the things in Kakariko to buy bombs, to go back up, to come back down to check race game can be a lot of extra walking, so kind of makes sense to save and quit. We'll see if Audra does the same.
Doesn't look like it. I think that was Bombos on Library, so potentially boots required.
Yeah, hopefully Bombos locks something for the runner's sake to know that they're going to get boots.
Yeah, boots are nice. So, I know logic gets a little bit messed up with how many checks there are in SMZ3, but where do you think logic is telling our runners to go right now?
Honestly, I don't really see much of anything. I guess the lamp is the only thing that really unlocks anything at this point, which for like front of escape and maybe one more check in Eastern. But I don't think either of them are going to push either one of those plays. Maniacal has a little bit more incentive to take that lamp to front of escape because he hasn't done Uncle yet, whereas Audra has and gotten their mirror. If Maniacal doesn't do that, the mirror could be really late for him. So that could be interesting.
That's true. If we find gloves, Mountain would be a logical choice.
Oh, for sure. Still not a lot to do up there. I mean, you can go into Hera, but it's... I guess being a pendant, it's better to go in and not be able to clear it, but it's... With no weapons, having to use bombs to hit the crystal switches and not being able to beat the boss, kind of not what you want.
Yeah, a little yucky. Let's see what else we can find in CAC.
I haven't been looking too closely at ammo. Speed booster's nice.
And have magic. Nice little safety.
Yeah, I was going to say there's not much that they can do in Super Metroid yet. We've seen missiles. I don't recall seeing any power bombs. Audra has a super from Uncle, but I don't know if that's the only one.
I don't remember seeing anything else.
Yeah, there's ammo in here. There does have to be one of each ammo pack placed logically before anything in Super Metroid. So in Sphere 1 rather, there's going to be one power bomb pack and one super pack at minimum.
Imagine if it was a Gina.
It could be a Gina, or Ice Rod Caves can be out of the way too.
Nothing crazy in Kakariko.
Yeah, I also want to point out, notably, Audraxys does not use quick swap, so they are just pushing these blocks and not mirror deleting them to save frames. They find that the quick swap isn't part of the game that they've wanted to learn, and still super competitive player at this level without using it. It's such a minor time save. You can absolutely still be amazing at this game without it. So it's kind of cool to see that, and I'm sure we'll see little differences in strats as the run goes on as a result.
Absolutely. So we're having Audraxys go down to check the dam.
Yep, and I assume they'll go over to Mini Moldorm Cave. They've got enough bombs to handle that pretty easily. Maniacal's taking his bombs to the front of the castle, which is good for him to get that mirror.
Definitely.
Being a little safe with those guards. I didn't see how Maniacal ended up on 2 hearts already. That's must have taken 2 hits on the way to Uncle.
Oh, and there's a power bomb pack on Audraxys' side. Can't do much without Morph, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a little bit with the speed booster, but not. You can't use the power bombs. Oh, nice bomb setup there from Maniacal.
Love to see it. Stealing the
That
key?
was really quick. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. With Lamp, you're not really breaking any logic. I mean, you are, but you're doing a lot of walking. Without boots, this is pretty slow. But I mean, it could pay out if there's something in the back of Escape that is important that Maniacal gets early. But it won't be Morph because Audra grabbed that in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yes, they did.
I would be surprised if Audra didn't at least check Sahasrah's closet before going to Super Metroid, with only 1 power bomb pack, no other movement items. I think they do have 1 or 2 E-tanks, but just getting a little bit more movement for Super Metroid would be great before doing that, before diving in.
Yeah, absolutely. Always love to see a high jump boots or a space jump, but
Yeah, there's that second power bomb pack. That could be really big for making the Bryn Star clear more efficient. So we see they saved and quit, immediately reset into Super Metroid.
oh my gosh, so much ammo in back of Escape.
Maniacal is walking back. Oh, did he not kill the key rat on the way through? That's interesting. Maybe gambling on getting a weapon there to make it easier to kill the key rats, or I'm not quite sure.
I'm not sure either. This is one of the more unique Hyrule Castle clears I've seen.
But the good news though is Maniacal did not get the map in the back of Escape, so there's a chance the map could be at Zelda's cell, not Zora's cell, and he might just get to be done at the boomerang chest coming up, which would be a nice little efficiency from doing the back first that you wouldn't expect.
Well, let's see what it is. Only a missile pack on BT, by the way. Nothing too exciting.
Yeah, Audra maybe having flashbacks about Super Metroid Randomizer League and not being willing to do Gauntlet early for some reason.
Well, we only have two
But-
E-tanks, and that's a little rough.
Yeah, I'm just giving them a little bit of a hard time since I was their league teammate and saw a couple struggles from our team specifically with Gauntlet in some of our races.
Gotcha.
But nothing in the back, nothing of value. So there still is that mystery item in the front, kind of hanging out there. But it is a slow check as well, of course. Like if you can skip it, that's much better than spending all that time for a couple garbage items. And
$20 in Zelda Cell. So I think have we gotten everything out of Hyrule Castle now?
Yeah, that would be everything. And none of it was any good. And the most unfortunate thing is Maniacal's out of bombs, so he's gonna have to go buy bombs. We'll see if he maybe buys them like on the way to Eastern here, because it's a little bit. You're already a little bit down that path, so he might go to Sahasrahla, which we did see Audraxys skip after getting their second power bomb pack at Ice Rod Cave. Oh yeah, we did see a spring ball. That is
Right, that was in.
Who grabbed the spring ball? I think they both got that, right?
Yeah, they both got that in Blind's Closet, I think. Or Thieves' Hideout, whatever you want to call it.
I forgot that our tracker got revamped, and I don't believe that used to be on the tracker, and it is now. That's why I wasn't even thinking about it.
Maybe we're gonna find out what Green Pendant is? Nope. Oh wait, we already know. Gosh.
Oh yeah, Green Pendant's Hera. And Maniacal did just do that map check before coming in here, probably doing that on the way here to see if he has any value talking to Sahasrahla himself. So that's a heads up play. I like that.
And we're probably going straight into Eastern. Do you think we'll do a full clear, or well, not a full clear, but big key chest?
I would expect it if there's still an item left. It can depend on the layout and of course what Maniacal finds in here, but he doesn't have Morph yet since he hasn't done the mini Moldorm Cave checks. So I think it's unfortunate unless he finds something good, of course, but it's likely to be a time sink. It's not really going to pay out for him just because the ordering of things, but I think it would be pretty smart to do that with the lamp already in hand and no morph, not really a whole lot of anything else giving progression.
We're getting a lot of early ammo. Seeing a lot of supers.
Yeah, Maniacal has what, like 3 super packs that Audra doesn't, or maybe just 2, and they have 15 to make use of in Super Metroid at the moment already. Ooh,
oh, flippers?
Okay.
That could be pretty big.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That would be especially good if there's anything that's important for Super Metroid, any SM movement items that are early flipper locked. I think that would give Maniacal a big advantage to kind of, I don't want to say catch back up. He's kind of behind on like number of checks just because Audra's doing the more dense quick checks in Brinstar at the moment.
Never gonna say no to another PB pack though.
Oh yeah, that's nice too. Yeah, the big keys vanilla here in Eastern, so Maniacal has to do the big loop around and does choose to be thorough. I think in general, Maniacal plays a little bit more conservatively and a little more thoroughly, and Audra makes some more aggressive skips, but both really good at adapting to the seeds, doing what is necessary, and understanding when to like kind of pivot into more aggressive plays. So
Audra just picked up. Oh,
go ahead.
I think Audra just picked up Grapple Beam.
That's interesting. That gives us. I forget how the logic works for. I was gonna say logic for X-ray. Maniacal, unfortunately, having some trouble here in Eastern.
Decides to dip. I don't blame him.
Yeah. That even with like Lamp, you don't have a weapon to defend yourself, so it's hard to. You have RNG you have to fight against to get over to that small key and then over to the vanilla big key chest. Like, it's just difficult to do on 4 hearts when you don't have like a sword. Just a sword and no lamp is even better, because a sword you can just the rooms in the dark at the level of play that he's at, and you just defend yourself by poking all the enemies that are in your way. But not a huge time loss, unless the flippers end up being, just more time wasted for garbage items that Audra doesn't go to check anytime soon.
Nothing on man under the bridge. Maniacal probably going to South Shore now.
Oh yeah, there's not a whole lot left. He's got Morphless Super Metroid with speed, but that certainly would not be the play. The chances of that paying off are so minimal. But he'll get his morph soon. We'll see if he opts to. I kind of doubt it, but he could take the flippers out of Ice Rod Cave, or even after Mini Moldorm Cave, take those flippers and go towards the Zora area. Grab those 3 items. Audra trying really hard to avoid using a power bomb when it just used the power bomb.
Picked up mushroom.
Or spring ball, which you see a little shake of the head there, remembering like, wait, I have spring ball. What am I doing? It's nice to see cams of both runners. Nice little feature we have of Speedgaming Live. Maniacal in this surprising amount of daylight that usually doesn't exist on his screens.
Sure enough, I always like watching their reactions when they find something that's been eluding them for a while.
Oh yeah. I am a bit surprised Maniacal's going to Agina here.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, but I guess he is really thorough, and you wouldn't want to orphan anything like on Agina.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point you have the flippers, so like he knows he's sunk some time into some extra checks. Like his front of escape wasn't very efficient at the end of the day, because it was just ammo. Eastern kind of didn't go the way he wanted, even though he got an item up front. He still left something behind, and it took a lot of time. But I'm surprised he didn't kind of just pocket those flippers for later and think like, okay, I can maybe use these later to get an advantage if Audra didn't do early Eastern, and it's still okay. It might be like I don't know. It almost feels like he's making a play already to try to do Agina early, but potentially just being thorough before doing these. Maybe wants an extra 300 rupees for Zora or something.
Maybe so. We still have a long race ahead of us, so nothing's over until it's over.
Oh yeah. We only have the ability to beat 2 bosses, really. In Kraid and Phantoon at this point.
And Audra's going straight to Kraid.
I didn't even realize they were out of missiles. It's a heads-up play to place that power bomb to kill all the green pirates there. Almost a GT Classic strat.
Now let's see if Kraid is going to prom. Wow, Maniacal's really going for those flipper checks.
I like this one a lot. I think this is smart. Because he knows the... Nice quick kill. He knows the flippers are something that Audra's likely to not have right now.
And he just picked up Zora money.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Good point. I didn't even think about that. So he can do everything here. That actually works out fantastic for him. even if it's nothing, it still ends up being efficient as far as clearing checks out of the way for later. I missed what was behind Kraid. Oh, Ice Beam is what was behind Kraid.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Yeah, I like the new tracker layout, but I'm not accustomed to it yet. It's just got the letters filled in for the beam so they can share one spot. It's very neat. Oh,
Ooh, boots! That'll be a big time save in Link to the Past. Maniacal heading over to Super Metroid?
and at least Zora gave a partial refund, so when Maniacal does get back to Link to the Past, he'll have a little bit of money. I know sometimes that can get you in trouble if you spend all your rupees at Zora and then end up trying to go to Dark World later and you just can't afford Dig Game, can't afford Chess Game. Maniacal, you have speed.
Ooh, Cane of Samaria on
Okay.
Audra's side. I really like the powder mushroom on the tracker. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, that's one of the new changes. That with the flute and shovel sharing the same idea.
Was that gravity on Croc Escape?
It sure was. I'm sure Audra's thinking already, do I get that now? Do I wait? What's the best time? At least I would be thinking that.
Maniacal going straight into Gauntlet. We'll get to see what that item is. Death missiles. Gauntlet has a bunch of missiles.
Yeah, that's mostly vanilla. So, really curious what the other pendant is, or if it ends up being in SM. Now, yeah, Audra is indeed going down to Croc. I'm gonna guess that they'll go down and fight Croc and then farm here, because this isn't really enough health to comfortably go and get that gravity suit. And they obviously can. They have enough items to full clear this whole area and check everything here. So I think this makes sense. And then they can farm on the way up as needed with 5 total E-tanks. They can float to full. The problem is the current ammo, actually.
It's not ideal.
Little annoying having to wait for Croc to throw the balls at you, farm them, which this is something that Audra's much better at than I am. This is kind of a thing that you have to do in certain hacks, and they're very experienced in a wide variety of Super Metroid hacks. But at least they have plenty of missiles for like capacity, so they can use these farms to get more than 5 missiles and kind of try to be efficient with them.
Yeah.
Still, I would have liked to see. I don't know.
Well, Maniacal's got 35 supers.
Yeah, Maniacal actually having all that ammo is that's what Audra needs right now. Needs to have picked up more ammo, which is funny because I kind of doubt Maniacal. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he'll even make this play down to Norfair. He could just as easily go up to Wreck Ship, and having all this ammo. Like, Wreck Ship is also a fine play. After the Brinstar loop, you can go up Red Tower and do Wreck Ship there. Wouldn't be surprised if he did that.
I'd almost want to delay Wreck Ship until after I had Gravity Suit just for convenience or something.
Oh yeah, once you know the gravity's there, I think that makes sense. But from Maniacal's perspective, not knowing where gravity is, I could see him going up.
That is fair. That is fair.
Both runners struggling a little bit with the mock ball there. Having speed and no high jump makes that one in particular, I think, really difficult because the way it affects your jump height is so unusual, and yeah, that one's just really tricky. Audra attempted it a couple times to get it. Maniacal chose to just roll out and then climb back up, both really using about the same amount of time.
Nothing on Indiana Jones. Let's see what's over here.
Some more missiles to deal with Croc.
Oh, those missiles we wish we had 2 minutes ago. As someone who's fairly new to Super Metroid, I always just appreciate how smooth our runners' movements are.
Oh yeah, both great runners, and honestly, it's nice to be able to commentate on a match like this because these are two people that I watched a lot, like before I even started, that kind of got me into this. Both have been around for Super Metroid in particular a lot longer than I have. Maniacal kind of went the other direction from Super Metroid into Link to the Past through SMZ3, but definitely players I like to watch and kind of help get me to where I am currently, so it's nice to see that they're still at it, still having fun with the game.
Absolutely. Audra just farming up.
Yeah, definitely not farming to full. That's as a, you know, they don't need a full 5 E-tanks, but it always makes me a little nervous. Like, what if something goes wrong? You could have just farmed for another 30 seconds. But with grapple, they should be pretty safe. Yep, easy. Now, where does that gravity suit take Audra is the question.
Can we do Meridia yet? Is that an option?
Yeah, I mean, it's most of Meridia is available. Shack Tool is not in Logic. Not that anyone wants to just beeline to Shack Tool, but it requires high jump or space jump. I mean, it could be the thing, but you certainly don't want to make that your whole reason to go to Meridia.
True.
At least not most people. But yeah,
Audra,
the rest of Meridia is in Logic, and Wreck Ship's a lot easier with gravity too, so that's also an option.
Yeah, Audra does have Ice Beam, so they could do the ice clip up to Shack Tool if they really wanted to.
That's true. Yeah, I mean they can do it with grapple as well. It's just getting out of the sand is like, you can't really make that jump normally, so you kind of have to do a gravity jump. Unless I'm missing some tech, but I always do the gravity jump in this situation, and that's really awkward when you sink into the sand and have to gravity jump out of it. Kind of surprised Maniacal's farming power bombs. That would suggest to me that he's going through Blueprint, which I would think if you want to be thorough like that, you go up Red Tower and then back down Blueprint. It gives you a chance to just refill at the ship, which is pretty similar in time to like doing that farm, and means you have a chance to potentially just hit another power bomb pack on the way, and you don't even need to.
Well, Audra's going into Tower Hera.
I like this. I like this for the first 2 items, anyways. I don't think Maniacal has enough power bombs to do what he's trying to do, actually. I really don't like this play. Because he's got to do, if he's going to go to Billy Mays, that's 2 power bombs there, and then he's out, and doesn't have any left over for Old Mother Brain or Shaft Supers. Oh yeah, I forgot already that the gravity suit was out of logic. Thanks for keeping me honest, DJ. So going to Meridia might not be the first thing on Audra's mind, since the Varia locks the gravity suit.
All right, we're on normal.
One less useful item that can be there in Meridia.
Right, we're on normal logic, not hard logic today.
Hey,
oh wait, there's
a
Varia.
gravity suit. Okay, well, Maniacal will eventually get his gravity suit in logic. Audra may or may not end up getting that Varia suit. Hopefully they do.
Red meringue on mushroom.
Yeah, and I do like the Plasma mention. Just checking the front of Tower of Hera there, since you're on Death Mountain, you can just check like 1 or 2 items really quick. No item to beat the boss, so like no reason to continue through to like the big chest and hope for the other item there. So yeah, Audra's almost certainly going to go to Wreck Ship here then. I guess
Actually,
Gauntlet on the way. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Maniacal gonna have to orphan Old Mother Brain and Shack Supers now, though?
Yeah, without getting like a... I think these pirates can drop power bombs, but... I mean, he could do the short charge to get that Old Mother Brain item, which is not very easy, and I don't think something that Maniacal is particularly known for. Very
wow,
good
look at his
climb.
movement. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, we had to jinx it.
Oh,
But that was a very good climb. Like, I'm sure he doesn't have input view or anything on the screen. I'm sure he wasn't holding down run, because otherwise the speed booster without high jump would have ruined all those jumps. But like, that was very smooth.
I've heard that climb called a behemoth climb. Can you explain that?
Yeah, Behemoth is actually one of the top vanilla runners of the game, and I don't know that he's the one that created it or invented it, but definitely is known for doing that climb with the ledge grabs instead of doing wall jumps. At the end of the day, they're both really similar, like whether you do the wall jumps or the ledge grabs. If you're good at them, it's fast, but Behemoth is really good at the ledge grab climb. Apparently Just Defend is the one that created it. Thank you, M2, for the lore.
Alright, now where's Maniacal going?
So we reset to refill his power bombs a little bit faster. Nice spring ball usage there in Wreck Ship to get the fire rod of spooky missiles from Audra. I assume Maniacal's just going to do 230 and Bomb Chorizo real quick, and then I don't know. Shaft Supers is awkwardly orphaned. I think you got to leave it if you're Maniacal here. You just bail on that.
I think so. We got our first Phantoon fight.
Well, I guess he did. So actually, you know what? Okay, so he did reset to the ship. So he could do Old Mother Brain and then Shaft Supers, then reset back to the ship again if these checks are all nothing. Some rough flames to deal with there on that first pattern. And of course, Phantoon is slow to reopen, as is usually the case when you miss your shots.
Looks like we're gonna check Old Mother Brain first on the Maniacal side. Oh, it's a sword!
Okay. So you're not resetting that.
Glad
Also, shouts to that
back.
little like jump and aim down that Maniacal does there. With how many items are in SMZ3, it reduces the chances of any one being good. So I like that like little scout instead of like rolling down there to try to pick up the item and then find out it's worthless most of the time, even though he needed it here.
Ooh, just missed this Shine Spark.
Okay.
And a good Phantoon kill, though.
I'm not a fan of Maniacal killing all the Boyons here. Like, clearly he missed the strat he was going for, but I think you just try it again and get it the second time and don't waste all your time and ammo, but that's okay. You got the job done. Yeah, you mentioned, Fox, earlier the ammo that these runners have already, and I just want to point out that Maniacal can already beat Mother Brain.
That is...
Wait, no, that's not right.
I thought that was
Just
60
kidding.
supers? 50 supers?
Yeah, it needs like 2 more ammo packs. I did my math very poorly, but he's very close already.
He'll probably have it by the time he's through with Wreck Ship.
Oh, for sure. This is a little unfortunate that Maniacal's going to be doing Wreck Ship without the gravity suit. Won't make a huge difference, but that Spike Room of Death will be a little slower. A little bit more risk of a time loss. Wreck Ship E-Tank room. Getting like the ocean missiles is going to be a little slower as well.
Ooh, and Bow.
Okay, that's good for Audra. That's going to push them to get the flippers without having to double dip Eastern, so that is for sure at this point a time loss to having to double dip Eastern, where Audra will in no way have to do that. And of course has the boots to do it.
Yep. That's a little unfortunate, but I mean, good for Audra. Audra going to attic now? Ooh, it gets the clip. Maniacal picking up their fire rod.
What a great attic. There's like a handful of ways to do that room that are super, super fast, and they're always, that's just one of my favorite rooms to watch done well, and that was a really good one.
It was one of the faster ones I've seen, yeah.
I don't know how this robot clip works. Presumably Audra does and is just struggling with it.
Something to do with invincibility frames, probably.
Yeah, I've done it before, like just mashing buttons and trying to force it, but I don't know how it actually works. Michael also missing the first open. A little faster reopen on the second one, though. A slow for the second round.
More power bombs finally for Audra.
Shaking his head, a little off time for the Doppler. Oh, it's interesting, that diagonal Doppler there at the end to finish off. I don't know if the missiles were needed. I don't know what kind of health Phantoon had. It's hard to tell the color changes on a runner's setup that you're not accustomed to. They all look just slightly different, but if those were needed, that was a really interesting way to finish off the fight. Without trying to like jump and do air Dopplers and potentially, have to time it differently.
What's Doppler mean?
So Dopplers that's the strategy that both runners used here. It's the most common one to come up in Randomizer, or SMZ3 anyways, where you shoot missiles while moving towards Phantoon, so the distance between the missiles, based on like the speed that the projectiles come out, it's spaced in such a way that they hit Phantoon before Phantoon leaves the screen, so you can chain together a whole bunch. You can basically chain a whole bunch of missiles together more than you're supposed to be able to, because after a certain number of hits, Phantoon tries to leave the screen. So you saw both runners kind of ran towards Phantoon, shooting missiles at a very specific timing.
I just heard the term used before, but it looks like they're really skilled at it.
Yeah. Both kind of chose a little bit different strategies. I know Audra did like on-screen Dopplers. Maniacal did the off-screen, which is a little bit easier to set up, but takes longer. Does have the advantage of if you do the off-screen, you can usually chain more of them together to possibly cut out a whole phase.
And Audra did pick up a sword in Wreck's ship, so that'll be a master sword for Maniacal.
Yeah, that's probably better for Audra than for Maniacal. Obviously, the first sword's really important, especially with boots, but since Audra may not end up going to... Well, I guess they probably go up Blue Bryn here, since the various suit still isn't anywhere to be found, except for in Blue Bryn. I assume they'll go down Red Tower, then up Blue Bryn, back to Link to the Past there. I think the sword was the only thing up at the top of Rex ship, though, right? So we had the fire rod and bow at the bottom here, sword at the top, and a bunch of garbage. So Maniacal, he could leave, he could skip bowling. I kind of doubt that he will, but could make a play. That is a really slow check, and hasn't really had a lot of things break his way yet. It's still early enough that you don't feel pressured to like claw back time, but you're still aware of the things that you've done that haven't worked out at this point, I think.
Another nice floor clip.
Maniacal doing the Spark Attic, which is attempting to do the Spark Attic, but missed the short charge there. Nice spring balls though back the other way to recoup some of that time loss.
While these runners are retracing each other's steps, what do you think is logically the next step for them?
Well, the game's kind of signaling Meridia, I would say, but Audra has incentive to go to Eastern, which is kind of a good coverage play, I think, for them, since they didn't even do Sahasrara. I think that would be smart. I mean, we do also have all of Upper Norfair. Speed booster gets over to Bubble Mountain.
Is Lower Norfair in logic at this point, or are we still missing some things?
Not in normal logic. Normal logic requires space jump and both suits or the flute and mitts to get to that area. So the gravity jump's not too hard, but it is definitely a trick that's not in logic. And some of the traversal in Lower Norfair is pretty rough with this loadout too. Like, worst room in the game, having to basically kill the pirates and then spring ball jump up is pretty slow. Having to kill GT to shine spark up that room if you end up going that way. Not really things you want to do.
Understandable. Maniacal going through with Bowling Alley.
Yep. So he's going to get that sword, which would be nice for him. interestingly gets him the ability to beat Aga and get to Dark World without the Moon Pearl. If not that he's going to want to do that, but if Moon Pearl shows up somewhere, might consider doing Aga Tower for that Dark World access. Yeah, and just to clarify, that since it is normal logic, there aren't any tricks that you aren't expected to do in the game. Nothing that the game, everything you're required to do in normal logic is things that the games teach you. So, bomb jumps can be in logic, as can like wall jumping, of course. But anything beyond that, since those are things the game teaches you in the little demo reel, and of course things like the Eticoons. But no other tricks. There's no heated runs. There's no suitless travel, since you aren't expected to do that casually at any point.
Something I'm a little curious about, what percentage of SMZ3 seeds do you see being PED seeds?
Very low number.
To be fair, yes.
Yes.
There's a lot of checks.
There's a lot of checks, and it's actually way lower than Link to the Past, even just because the SM items, especially at like the runner that the level that these runners are at, there are definitely skippable items, ways to work around things. So even if there was a suit on pedestal, both these runners are fully capable of beating the game with one or neither suit. Fortunately, in this case, they already have both suits, but even still, there's a lot of ways around the Super Metroid requirements, so it basically has to be something for a Zelda dungeon on pedestal to be hard required, or like, more for something. That just...
Oh gosh, have you
nobody
ever
wants to see that. I have not seen that, and I don't want to.
I don't wish it on anyone.
Audra is going to Eastern. Look at their flippers, kind of as expected.
They'll also pick up whatever Maniacal missed in the back.
Yeah, I did not... I think Maniacal got 2 items, is that right? Because it was the flippers and power bombs?
Yeah, I think I remember making a comment about power bombs.
Oh, and apparently Audra and Ike here had more fun pedestal in in a prior race in this tournament.
Oh gosh, ew.
So Maniacal on this path is going to do X-Ray, which was like the mushroom or something like that. It wasn't... I think it was the mushroom that ended up being nothing.
It was red meringue.
Oh, okay. I knew it was something like that isn't bad to pick up, but it isn't really like necessarily progression. And we'll probably see Maniacal do... He might do Tower of Hera, like fully clear Tower of Hera. Oh, no, it was the mushroom. Okay. We did see the red boomerang, though. I don't know where that was.
It was on mushroom.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. I thought you were saying the red boomerang was there at X-Ray. Gotcha.
Oh, no. Sorry. Mushroom leads to red boomerang.
That's right. But yeah, Maniacal probably just clears Upper Norfair.
You think he'll peek Croc escape?
Oh, he definitely will. And I think he'll do Croc, seeing that gravity there. It's in logic for him, so he'll definitely... When he sees it, he'll do it. I don't know if he'll do the whole Croc area. There's always a chance of that. I know it feels like you have to do Croc when you do Croc escape, but like it's really not connected to the other checks fully, so.
Did Audra do Cathedral?
No. They did not do Cathedral or any of the Bubble Mountain checks. Which the lack of high jump boots kind of makes that feel bad. Like you can't do any percent strat where you just do like that nice jump to get over towards the cack attack, but ice beam you can still climb relatively easily if you know what you're doing to freeze the waivers in like a consistent way.
Maniacal going to crate. Did we already see the third item in Eastern?
I missed the big chest, but we'll find out, I guess, on our most nights. Yeah, I was looking at Maniacal's side. Yeah, we must have. It must have been an item in the big chest.
I think it was 10 arrows, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything necessary. Our tracker doesn't have anything lit up that wasn't there before.
Oh,
Nice,
man.
great quick kill again.
Super quick kill.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the Dragon boss token.
And then Maniacal will get the ice beam and the boots coming up in a second here as well.
All in all, Maniacal, I don't know. It would have been nice to have those boots for all of those checks he did in Zelda, but
Yeah, there's still a lot left, and really the big one is just the Eastern Palace. It's a really linear dungeon. There's a good number of straightaways, even though you're not intended to have boots for that dungeon in the vanilla game. There's still a handful of really good rooms to use them. Not quite as prominent as like Thieves Town or Desert Palace. Desert considered by some like the boots tutorial dungeon. They just set you up with these huge straightaways to practice your dashing. Which is just great game design, but also feels bad in a randomizer when you don't have boots there.
absolutely. Nothing on Bonkrux. And Audraxys resetting to Super Metroid now.
What do they have left to do here at this part of the world?
Not sure.
It's an interesting reset.
Do you think they'll go to Meridia?
It might just be to keep the Zora money. I think if they were trying to go to Meridia, they would go to the old man save and quit point on Death Mountain instead of resetting. So I'm curious to see where they opt to go.
Super good mock ball on Maniacal side. I always love seeing mock balls, even though I can't do one myself.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly difficult like piece of tech when you watch players at this level, and it's just like the most commonplace thing. But I know it took me quite a long time to learn, and then once I got it, it stuck pretty well.
Audraxys getting their Master Sword.
Oh, did they also not have enough power bombs coming through this Brinstar area to check old Mother Brain? I had missed that, but I'm guessing that's what happened. So they ended up coming back to clean up just to make sure, you know, nothing essential was there.
Probably gonna see a little bit faster of a croc on Maniacal side, just due to all the ammo. Admittedly, I love Croc. He's so cute.
At least until all of his skin starts melting off in the acid here.
Nah, that he's still cute as a skeleton.
Michael eating a little bit of lag to show us off that animation. Audra running out of checks here in Link to the Past. They're probably going to be pushed into either Upper Norfair or Meridia at this point. They still have front of escape, but that doesn't feel good at this point, I think. I wouldn't see them clearing that right now. A little bit of hesitation on where to start. Oh, Maniacal using the grapple here. Vanilla intended strats. Wait. Is that is intended? Yeah, you're supposed to get the grapple then come back for these, I think.
And Audra deciding to go with front of escape. I think that makes sense. If you leave it and it had something super important for progression, it would feel terrible.
Yeah. Pose? I don't know. I think there's still some potential efficiency to check it later, like say with Pyramid Ledge or even Pyramid Fairy, but it kind of goes along with some of the other checks that Audra's been doing, like the cleanup of Old Mother Brain in 230. I think that it's certainly reasonable, just not what I expected. With all of Upper Norfair and all of Meridia available, but granted, not with the best movement. No high jump boots yet for either of those areas is a little bit rough.
Probably just hoping for high jump boots or maybe even space jump then.
Audra's gonna do the more traditional escape here, having done the front first and then go through the back instead of trying to steal the key, just to make sure you have access to all the items in the back. It is going to work out for Audra since the key is in Dark Cross. And while they're getting all this ammo that wasn't necessary, we'll see what Maniacal chooses to do.
I would have liked to have that ammo earlier, for sure, though.
Yeah, they still did really nicely with that croc, considering the low ammo.
Absolutely.
And a couple little tweaks to some strats in Kraid's layer as well.
Both of our runners today are just tremendously skilled, and it's been a joy watching them so far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely follow the runners. If you're liking what you see, they both stream a lot of good randomizer content, as well as some vanilla and occasional other games. I believe Maniacal's in the Link to the Past Rando League this season. Audra's, I don't know how many tournaments they're in right now, but have recently been in a bunch of Super Metroid tournaments.
Oh, and be sure to give our tracker a follow as well. Diametheus, I think it was.
Ooh, we get a Dark World map check.
Pendant Mire.
Pendant Mire, red crystals are TR and Skull Woods. With the boss tokens in there, there is a lot of information to obtain, so helpful for Maniacal to give us that nice long map check. Maniacal might actually go all the way through Tower of Hera here. I could see that having some value.
It does have green pendant, which isn't the worst.
Yes, the green pendant. Actually, I don't know if the big key was up front or if it was the small key. I don't even know if Audra checked this key, actually. They might have just looked at the missiles and left, because having to do the basement for the big key to go up when you could potentially just Herapod up later, or skip the whole thing because it's a pendant, I think that's a good call for Maniacal to bail on that.
Yeah, for sure. Got a bottle on, what do you call this check?
It's Mama Turtle or Totori missiles. I think Totori's the actual name of the enemy, but most people just call her Mama Turtle. Man, we're so far in, and we still have like none of the usual Dark World access at this point. It's a little odd.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
No gloves, no hammer, no pearl. Just the swords and lamp for the hard way that no one wants to do. And by hard, I mean slow.
Well, Castle Tower, I think, does have its own checks, though.
It actually is just the 2 keys there.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
I must be thinking Key Sanity. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I certainly have the opposite come up a lot when I play Key Sanity and forget that there's items there. So many great ways to play both of these games, and easy to get things mixed up when you play different modes.
For sure, for sure. Key Sanity does have a way of making things much longer, though. Nothing exciting in Meridia so far. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, it's been very empty. We got the bottles. I mean, those could be progression. Those are we saw 2 of them now.
Yeah, we could check
So,
Sick Kid. I think we got our first bottle way earlier on in the randomizer, though.
Oh, was there another one? Okay, I didn't recall seeing one up until the Mama Turtle check, and then we had the one. It was right after that. Yeah, the very next check that Audra did was another one up at Oasis.
I could be wrong, but I thought I saw a bottle earlier in the seed. Nothing good in that sand pit. You know, Maniacal not too far behind.
Yeah, the runners are close together, both like geographically right now, but also on the checks that they've each done. I'm trying to think of where the real differences lie. I mean, Audra has Eastern cleared. Maniacal is going to have to go back for that. Go get the big key, which is a little bit lengthy. Audra's also done Bonk Rocks and the Mushroom Turn-In. I don't think Maniacal's done either of those.
I don't think Maniacal has, no.
Right, Maniacal already planning his hover fairy revival to East Death Mountain, probably. And I'm only partly joking because, oh, nice speedball. I don't see another reason for Maniacal to really get that bug net. That's certainly a trick he's capable of too.
Oh no. Do SMZ3 runners not usually take fairies for safety?
Honestly, not at this level. It's kind of uncommon just because how many checks there are. You're so much more likely to end up with extra extra heart containers, extra, mail upgrades. Like it's typically not as advantageous as it is in Link to the Past Rando. And I think Maniacal's even already got a potion. Wait. Yeah, you're right. We did see the bottle earlier because Maniacal threw it in and got a potion. So he's got a green potion, so could use that for safety. Maniacal even making me happy skipping heart containers that are out of the way.
We have Audraxys checking Shack Tool, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, with how empty Meridia is, I think this is a fine check.
But only supers.
And at this point, like I said, we're missing Dark World access. There's so many items we still need. We don't even know like what medallions are required. I guess medallion, we probably only need one for Turtle Rock. We might need to get something out of Pendant Mire, but hopefully not.
I'm surprised we haven't even seen more fetch quest items or even the invincibility items like Cape and Cane of Burna.
Right, yeah, there's still a lot out there, a lot of value potentially at Shack Tool, and a dwindling number of checks still available. Upper Norfair is still quite a bit, but
yeah, maybe Upper Norfair was the play.
It's starting to look like it, but there are still a handful left on the way to the boss.
The precious missiles.
Oh, Maniacal is actually doing the ice clip instead of using grapple. I actually didn't see how Audra did the grapple jump, or there might be another way to do that that I'm not thinking of at the moment.
I was sort of just I was sort of joking when I was talking about ice clip earlier.
I mean, Maniacal did it really quick, so it
wow.
really didn't cost much over the gravity jump, and that gravity jump is very, very difficult to do with the sand, because if you don't do it, you don't pause and jump right at the time when you hit the sand, you sink in, and then you don't get the height from the gravity jump.
I've also seen that ice clip be pretty difficult too.
Yeah, it's harder without high jump boots than it is with high jump boots, and of course, Maniacal does not have the high jump boots, and there are like some setups you can do for it. So like in 100% vanilla speedrun, there's like a really nice setup that makes it a lot easier, but you need a certain set of items that the runners don't have. So definitely well done for both for Audra to do the gravity jump that I missed entirely, and for Maniacal to do the ice clip first try. And then they both reset the supers, of course.
Are we going to see a Shine Spark Dragon strategy, perhaps?
It's like just one spark for the opener, and then grapple to finish off. They're not able to get in position for the quick grapple in time. Gonna wait it out a little bit. I think that's like no tail whips. It's really, really kind Dragon fight.
And it's a crystal.
Yep.
I guess we know where all our pendants are, yeah.
So then we can do. Is there another SM boss out there?
We still have Ridley.
So Ridley is an SM boss. It is a token, that is. I hadn't actually taken inventory of how many of those SM boss tokens we'd seen, but we got the one at Crate already, and another one at Ridley's guaranteed because we got 2 in the Dark World.
Yep, I think Ridley was Pod.
Let's see. Our tracker has Pod and Ice Palace as the other SM tokens. Diometheus is on top of it. Alright, so Audra might just be coming here to save and quit back to Bubble Mountain faster. I think that's the play. Taking this exit. No plasma beam check, which is out of logic, but very doable with the speed booster.
It could be in logic if it's somewhere in Upper Norfair.
True. Or yeah, and then there are 2 items that put that in logic, both the screw attack and the wait, hold on, never mind, because the short charge to escape is not in logic. So they would need a way to kill the pirates, which would be plasma or screw attack, and then also a way out, either the high jump or morph bombs or space jump. So
fair enough.
Kind of double out of logic.
A little bit, yeah.
A big time sink for that.
Looks like Audraxys is going to Upper Norfair now. Gonna check cathedral.
Yep,
Just a little bit of
and
love.
I think Maniacal's going to be pretty close behind. I don't really know what else would make sense for him to do right now.
Not a ton of divergence from our runners.
Yeah, there's been a few opportunities, but the big one would be the Upper Norfair before Meridia play was certainly a fine option that one of the runners could have taken, but or either of them could have taken rather.
So does something have to be in Upper Norfair now? Is there no other logical place anything could be? Oh,
Well,
there's the hammer.
something's in Upper Norfair. I think so. I guess the bottle.
Oh,
The
right,
bottle
the
for Sick
bottle.
Kid we have not checked. That's the only other thing I can really think of. Or like Pyramid Ledge is in Logic without the Moon Pearl. But that's just terrible.
I once saw a Pyramid Ledge Moon Pearl.
Yeah, I have seen that one myself too.
Very yucky, but a nice tempered for Audra.
Yeah, Hammer and Tempered go together quite well. Kind of in almost use one to get the other, like the vanilla game. Still doesn't really give us anything though.
No, we still don't have
it's
Dark
not,
World
it's
access.
Not progression.
No.
Yeah, still a couple pieces away. Surely there will be. I mean, Dark World access has to come soon. So the Pearl is going to show up, and then the gloves are probably both going to be in Dark World. Would be my guess.
Does Hammer open up East Death Mountain?
It does, yes. Hammer opens up East Death Mountain, and it gives us access to West Dark World, or at least some of it, like Hype Cave area, because they can leave. They can either do Aga or come out of Meridia to Dark World and then traverse to like Hype Cave with the hammer. So that does give a
Oh
little.
no!
Oh, okay. Big play from Maniacal here.
Power gloves on plasma. Wow.
Showing off how to do this. Well, he's showing off, but just missed one of his stutters or taps just slightly. There we go. You gotta take a hit so you have iframes to run through the pirate, and then you can use your shine sparks to kill the other pirates and get out of the room. That's interesting. I don't know when we'll see Audra do that.
Probably not for a while.
Is that it? The only problem with this is without high jump, it is kind of awkward to land these shine sparks. Especially, Maniacal looked like he was trying to pull the one off the wall to have it move to the other side, and it kind of got stuck in the middle. There's some really weird properties with these these plasma pirates where they kind of just hang in the middle of the screen until you pull them back off screen, and it can make it really difficult to hit them properly. And then you get too close and they run away.
It's really obnoxious, but I mean, the gloves are pretty much worth it.
Yeah, it looks like this is just something Maniacal's out of practice with. I don't really get what he's going for with the vertical spark. I prefer diagonal sparks quite a bit here. Maybe he's trying to do that and just accidentally breaking spin. If he does a diagonal spark up and to the left, like be as far to the left as possible and do one of those, you can kind of clip into that on the way up. But he gets him cleaned up nicely. Just a little bit of time lost there.
And we're seeing Audraxys go to East Death Mountain like we were talking about.
Yeah, I've been so laser focused on what Maniacal's doing. I didn't see.
No, me too.
Didn't see what was that wave area, but we've got a hook shot.
Yep. That makes this a little easier.
There we go. That did not land. I like to do a diagonal spark for this pirate as well. If you get all the way to the left wall, it can be awkward getting that first jump, but you do a diagonal spark and land basically right on top of that pirate in the middle, and the echoes will always kill him. It can be tricky to get to, but you want to get to like the middle of the wall, and then diagonal spark.
We just got
towards the middle of the
screw
screen.
attack and high jump boots in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, and now Audra can do this in Logic, and Maniacal seems like he's testing things out, honestly. Like, maybe he hasn't done this in a long time. He's forgotten how to handle this. That should do it. That does not do it.
Single Arrow of Destiny in Paradox Cave as well.
With a 10-pack right next to it.
It got it? Did he just get him? He did.
Yes, he did.
Well, we love to see it.
Oh. The health. I guess he can Crystal Flash if he needs to.
I just realized Audraxys can now do Hero with Hero Pot.
Yeah, it looks like they're on the way right now. It's intentionally damaging down on the Puyo pile there to get down into Crystal Flash range. I think that's the smart decision at this point.
Spent a lot of time on those plasma pirates, though.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna feel bad. Like, no matter what, even if you think your opponent didn't go there, you're still spending so much time on it that it doesn't feel good, even though it might have paid off. Wonder gets half a coffee break. First half was spent trying to get on the pegs. Yeah, I think doing the basement here is a not an uncommon play if the big key's not already been found. I don't really like it as much when one of the items was found already. So like 2 items in the dungeon, and Audra already found the missiles in the basement cage. I think that gives the big key a little less value because it's only a 1 in 3 chance that the big chest has an item. I think you just check the other 2 up at the top. You really want to do the boss anyway because it's already the green pendant, and then you can go back for the big chest if you really need to. They're choosing not to Herapot. That's surprising. I thought they'd learned the new like easy setup that was discovered recently. I forget the names of all of them, but there's a new way to Herapot. It was discovered relatively recently around the time of the Specky clip, and it was I think it makes it much easier.
I know of the bomb setup and the boot setup.
Right, yeah, it's a bomb setup, but it's a specific bomb setup that it normalizes things a little bit more than some of the other ones, so you don't need as particular movement.
This will probably be a quick... Well, I don't want to jinx anything, so I'm not going to say it. Trolldorm has been the death of me before.
Yeah, with 9 hearts and 9 hearts and this firepower, it's probably not going to be fatal, but like 1 or 2 falls can be very frustrating.
When I was doing a seed a little bit earlier, I just kept falling in the middle hole like 3 times. I was not having a great time of it.
I've definitely been there. I think pretty much anyone that's played this game has been there. Oh, Maniacal remembering this bombos here that I totally forgot was in the library. Might not be needed, but
1 out of 3 chance.
Good to have. Could be needed. Well, I guess with half magic and fire rod, unlikely. But I was gonna say if they run into some magic troubles in Ice Palace, it might be required as well.
It's nice for Cold Stare.
And so nothing on the green pendant, and we had Spazer in the compass chest of Tower of Hera. So that's okay, fine. Not really any value unless we get a charge beam.
Audra heading back into Upper Norfair. Did Audra clear out everything from Upper Norfair, or do we have a bit to go?
I think so. I missed the wave checks, but I'm almost positive they checked that. So this has to be Lower Norfair. I think they just saved too, unless I'm completely crazy.
I think they did too.
so yeah, this is definitely a Lower Norfair play, which honestly I don't even know what the save is for, because they're probably just gonna go to GT and then to like the desert area, which is out of logic, but it's real quick, doable from the back. It's a pendant. I guess I wouldn't push that too much, but it's an option. I don't see any reason for Audra to reset to that save point, and their health is really good considering they have both suits.
Now this gravity jump is out of logic, right?
Yes, it is.
But is it possible to get into Lower Norfair from the front? I understand that this is backdooring it.
Well, this is... I guess this is kind of the front.
Is this the front? Okay.
So for Super Metroid only, the back door would be like the... Where you normally come out in like an any % run or something, you know, by wave beam. That area is blocked off. With Flute and Mitts, you can get in from the Misery Mire area, but we're missing... Audra's missing both gloves, Maniacal's missing one, and they're both missing the Flute, so that's not gonna happen anytime soon. No, Maniacal just kind of winging this. That looks like a good spot, though. Okay, nice. Nice ice setup there. Maybe he did have a setup. It looked like he was kind of just winging it, but... There's the Flute.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
So you're not getting to this area any other way. Except for maybe with, like, you know, space jump to do with this the intended way, instead of the gravity jump that Audra did.
So does that mean space jump is probably in Link to the Past?
At this point, yes. So space jump cannot be in Lower Norfair, is what we learned.
I wonder what it wants you to do then. I guess it wants you to take Screw Attack to Plasma, and then get the Mitts and maybe go to Hype Cave, and... I don't know. You can't do much in Dark World without Moon Pearl.
We got Pyramid Ledge.
Oh, just don't tell me it's on Pyramid Ledge. I don't want to curse it.
I don't know what else... I'm trying to think what else there is.
Sick Kid?
Something has to be on Pyramid Ledge. Either Space Jump or Moon Pearl. Or another fetch quest. Maniacal checked Sick Kid, actually, just a moment ago. And it was... missiles? It wasn't anything good.
Okay. I must have been watching Audraxys.
Yeah. So I guess, assuming the runners are following logic, probably better than I am. Sometimes it's harder when you're playing to follow the logic, and sometimes it's easier because you're not trying to watch two different screens at the same time. So you're able to follow more carefully what's going on in your game. But yeah, I think... Audra might know that it's Pyramid Ledge. Well, no, they haven't done the Sick Kid yet. Oh, that's the other male upgrade. We saw one at GT, and then there's one on Pyramid Ledge. It looks nice and sandy as well, sitting out in the desert for so long. Appropriate color palette.
Don't you just love sand in your clothes?
I don't think anyone's ever said yes to that question, and I will not be the first one to say that. No. do not.
Can't blame you. But we're gonna be able to check out Desert.
Yeah, so far no items yet in Desert. I kind of prefer this upper Norfair routing from Maniacal to kind of have the option to skip Cathedral if you found like everything you needed at Bubble Mountain, but Hammer and Glove is not quite everything you need because no Pearl. So he's definitely still doing the slow Cathedral, just the opposite direction from what Audra did.
Is this technically an Agassiz because mitts are out of logic? Or glove, sorry.
It's, yeah, looks like that is the case. We're going for the I'm spacing on the words, Super Bunny glitch here.
It's book.
Little smile on their face, and the book shows up right next to Desert to get in, but like you kind of don't need it to get in because you're already in the Dark World with the mirror.
It's fine for tablets and pedestal if something's on pedestal. Please don't tell me I jinxed that too.
Potentially. So Maniacal's gonna get his hook shot and be probably really upset to get the high jump boots. And how does he have no arrows? Where are his arrows? I'm so confused.
I don't know, hasn't he? I guess he's not picked up any 10 packs.
I guess not. When he was in Eastern early, he didn't pick up any of like the NMG arrow pots, and there's 11 arrows in Paradox Cave that he hasn't been to yet. But that's very funny. Anyways, I interrupted myself. He's probably gonna be frustrated when he gets the high jump boots and the screw attack and realizes that that's what he was supposed to do to get the glove, and might start worrying that Audra took that there and did it the fast way without any difficulty.
Right, which was to go to Upper Norfair before Meridia.
Right. It's like
Yep,
a little
there's
head
the
nod,
nod.
like, yep, that's, of course, that's there in the free spot.
My heart goes out to Maniacal. Put the heart container in Mickey Mouse room. And now he has 11 arrows, the same number of bombs he has.
Is he going to scout the medallion here? This is it's a little out of the way. Maybe not. Where is he going? Oh, he didn't do Hera yet. Right, okay. Just kidding. He's going to do Tower of Hera. Probably just kind of same as keeping his options open for potentially skipping things, which I really like. I would suspect that that's similar thinking as the choose your boomerang or the cane. Similar thinking as the Cathedral play, where if you find Dark World access on East Death Mountain, you can maybe bail on
Wait.
Hera. That's the Moon Pearl.
Yeah. Wait. How is it logically here?
Because Space Jump must be on Pyramid Ledge.
Oh no.
Well, that's kind of not good for Audra. It would be better for them if it was Pyramid Ledge, probably, because then Plasma becomes a little bit easier to go back to piece the logic
you're right.
together.
Yeah, you're right.
Because Audra might be thinking that that Space Jump is just at Plasma, in which case they're not going to go to Plasma for Space Jump. That's not worth it. So It's so weird.
Yeah, the logic's go in interesting ways.
Yeah, I think Audra is potentially in a rough spot unless they see Pyramid Ledge and figure out where the glove is.
Pyramid Ledge is kind of an out-of-the-way check, though.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is their Dark World access is either through Meridia or Aga, and through Meridia, if you somehow have to leave and come back to Dark World again and don't have a glove, like that's super rare, but there's a chance that could happen for some reason. Where like you die and have to save and continue, die in the overworld of Zelda. That's a long trek to get all the way through Meridia for that Dark World portal. So they might opt to just do Aga just to have the portal there. Makes Pyramid Fairy quicker to do, when that time comes if you need to do that.
They might, but I've seen runners avoid Aghanim like the plague.
Yeah, I think it gets overstated because the Aga Tower really only takes about a minute and a half or so. Trekking through all of Meridia, even with good items, still takes like a minute. So, eating 30 seconds or to a minute somewhere in that window, just to guarantee you have that portal available is kind of nice.
Plus, sending your save point to Pyramid is good for when you want to just quickly go to Ganon, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That is usually helpful, with the exception of, if you're in Spike Cave and you save and quit and you want to be in the Light World and it forces you to Dark World because you've got the Aga Clear and the mirror.
It's easy to forget where your save and quit can be in Link to the Past sometimes.
Right. Sometimes you forget, and sometimes it just like isn't worth it to try and fix it. Like Spike Cave, it's just there's not.
Well, there's Plasma.
There's not really reason to walk out of Spike Cave just to save and quit to the Light World. Maniacal gets his revenge on the enemies by taking damage from them again, but this time successfully to get the chest.
We got Plasma from Fireflies, so now we have Charge Ice Plasma, which is a really strong beam combo.
Oh yeah, so now all this ammo is pretty much worthless.
I think we're ready to just march up to Mother Brain.
Pretty much. Too bad it's like out of the way from everything, so there's no real reason to do that right now.
I know.
They even have stand-up glitch E-Tank, so they could do that.
Oh yeah, they do. Wow. So we have everything we need to full clear Super Metroid, right?
Yep, I think we have full cleared it, or at least the viewers, we know where everything is.
I think so.
And Audra's checked everything but Plasma.
Which means most of what's left is in Dark World.
Oh, did Audra save? Oh, they're gonna save at the tube. The tube save. Okay, they're not saving at the tube.
I think they're going to Dark Worlds.
They're... Yes, this would be Dark World. Yes, okay. Yeah, because going to Shaktul, you'd take the lower path. Maniacal's gonna do Aga. Interesting. That surprises me.
Well,
because for Maniacal, like, he knows this is the logical thing to do, but he knows this is either Moon Pearl is the likely thing here, of course, but it could be Space Jump to do Lower Norfair, and this is a long time if it's just Space Jump. In his case, I really don't like this Aga play.
But if it was his Moon Pearl, it would be the thing to do.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Even if it's the Moon Pearl, though, like, you're not getting much to save time in Lower Norfair. Like, what's going to save you time in Lower Norfair at this point, other than the Space Jump to avoid the gravity jump? That's a handful of seconds. Space Jump makes worst room in the game better, makes Amphitheater better, but again, you're looking at handfuls of seconds. So this is actually gonna to punish Maniacal to stick with logic here, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
Meanwhile, Audra. See if they choose to go straight to pod. Probably straight to pod.
Looks like it.
Looking
it is a required dungeon, and I think we have everything we need to full clear it.
Yeah, I guess after pod. So I'm trying to think. Glove being in pod, if the other glove is in pod here, that's potentially really bad for Audra, because that might push them away from being thorough and checking Pyramid Ledge. They might just like save and quit and then go to Village of Outcasts, for instance.
That would be an easy thing to do, yeah.
What are our red crystals again? Turtle Rock?
Skullwoods.
And Skullwoods. So there's always a chance that Audra tries to pair Pyramid Ledge with Pyramid Fairy. You can get spin speed from that, or hook speed? Michael frustrated at his tiny little micro optimizations he's going for here and having a little bit of struggles. I didn't know you could get hook speed off of that one staircase, but I'm assuming you can because Maniacal tried for it. That's kind of neat.
I'm just sort of looking at what we need for go mode. It looks like we need to know what's on TR, what medallion opens TR, and Ice Rod, of course.
Yeah.
Is that about it?
The other glove.
Right, the other glove.
But yeah,
because we need to get an Ice Palace. I can't believe we're just a couple items from go now.
And it'll be... Both runners are still they have awkward, not real Dark World access. They're both missing something. It's a nice bit of divergence to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Maniacal probably going to be really upset to see the space jump here. Shoutouts to Maniacal for not even checking what it is, but just blindly grabbing it.
Another little nod. But hey, at least Maniacal's on his way to, true Dark World access.
Yeah, he'll have really good Dark World access once he gets that Moon Pearl in Lower Norfair, and Maniacal's in a good spot. He's on the path. He's logically following exactly what he needs to do. Audra's got that loose end that I don't know when they're gonna. Really, where the other glove is kind of huge for when they get the plasma glove.
I'm waiting with bated breath to watch if gloves in pod.
Oh, I see what Maniacal's doing. This is a smart farm here. Kind of an awkward way of doing it, but he's doing a really good job.
I don't think I've ever seen this farm.
I've never seen anyone use space jump and screw attack this way. I've done it with just screw attack where you just do little jumps and you just time your jumps. But that looks like a lot more work. But yeah, it's smart for him to farm because he doesn't have enough supers for GT right now, and he's gonna need them, and then probably gonna have to farm again. Well, he thinks he will, but he'll hit charge beam anyway. The charge beam was after GT.
I think it was just before.
Was it just before? Okay. And he has Spazer but hasn't turned it on yet. Maybe he'll turn it on the elevator, or probably not because he doesn't really need it for anything in Lower Norfair without charge, and he won't have charge till after the elevator. Ooh, going the intended way. So Maniacal will get the red mail probably.
Nice little safety.
Yeah, he'll get the blue mail and here at GT and be happy for it, and then maybe feel like, well, that wasn't really necessary because the other mail will be on the desert ledge. But I assume he'll pick them both up. Even for someone who skips heart pieces and heart containers, it's really foolish to skip mail upgrades, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ganon with green mail hurts. We haven't seen the glove out of pod yet, have we?
No, I don't think so. I definitely missed a couple of chests, but don't think we've seen anything of value really here.
Nice kill on Helmasaur King. Gets bombs.
All
That
right,
doesn't
marginally
unlock.
useful.
Yeah, that doesn't unlock anything new though, right?
Nope, not with space jump. Well, not really with the overall movement items we have.
Would it put plasma into logic since it's a can fly?
So with high jump, how does that work? It would have, yes, if space jump wasn't already there. So I guess that gives Audra a tiny bit more information.
And they're about to go get.
But they're going to
space jump.
have the information in general here. All right, so they hopefully know at this point that plasma is the other glove.
Or that progression is on plasma.
Or they forgot they don't have a glove. Maybe both. Both of those things can definitely be true at the same time.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Like, even when you know you don't have an item, you can just try to do the strats that you're used to sometimes. Like, just your muscle memory takes over and you know you don't have a glove, but you don't know that you can't use the glove still.
Looks like we'll be checking Kings too.
Yeah, Audra's kind of forced into this, like, very specific loop around Dark World here, which isn't bad,
Glove?
and it's the other glove, so it's actually really good. Okay. That's really interesting.
So the logical way to get what Wait, no. So is that supposed to be your first glove logically?
No, because you're supposed to get the... Wait.
That could be
Yes?
your
No.
first glove. Because you can do Aga.
I
I'm
think
not
it
sure.
doesn't matter, because Space Jump puts the Pearl and Logic and the other glove at the same time, basically.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So they're kind of... I mean, this is one sphere further, because it's Space Jump to Pearl to King's Tomb Glove, but like they're not necessarily behind each other in a linear order. The way this logic chain worked out.
It looked like bomb capacity upgrade on Bumper Ledge.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was the bombs or the bomb capacity, but either way, it was not important. Okay, that's a really good way to farm these rippers on Maniacal side. I'm gonna steal this. If I have specifically Space Jump and Screw Attack.
Oh yeah, that's really fast. Much better than waiting for a power bomb to go off. I love the pillar room when you have Space Jump and Screw Attack.
Yeah, it feels nice to just zoom through everything. Okay, so we're still really looking for Ice Rod and some sort of medallion. I'm curious to see when Audra starts getting a little more aggressive with their Dark World clear. Because they hopefully remember that Bombos is on the library and will grab that, leaving Village of Outcasts. They may very well not do the Smith Chain. Meanwhile, Maniacal is going to be put into more of an awkward place with that second glove. Very quick Mothula.
Very nice. I guess for Audraxys, it's going to be probably a strategy of always be doing dungeons.
Yeah, I mean, at least through Thieves Town, and they'll do the rest of Village of Outcasts, like the main checks there.
I think they can also do Swamp Palace.
Yeah, they can. I don't know. I guess they still do Swamp Palace. I don't know. They might be... They might end up skipping, like, Left Side Swamp.
Oh, picked up their silvers. That's really nice. Tempered Silver's Ganon's going to be a pretty quick fight for both of these runners.
Oh, yeah.
And there's cash on Ped. So Ped, it's not required. I didn't jinx it.
That's good. nice Ridley fight considering the ammo. And how sometimes like it's a little bit more awkward when you have all those missiles. Like they're still relatively efficient, like time wise, over using like your beam, especially with Maniacal being a place where you'd have to menu to turn on Spazer, and then even then it's only ice Spazer charge, so it's not like the full new route beam damage. But yeah, it can be hard to like hit that many missiles, like and stay in like a good rhythm for Ridley for some people. And then of course farming the full supers before the fight seems slow too, so you never. All your options seem kind of bad, but Maniacal did really well with what he had available.
Audraxys just unlocking the goose.
I forgot that we hadn't done that yet.
All hail the goose. And that'll be nice quick movement around Zelda.
Yeah, that makes it not too rough to oh wait, Audra can't do Smith Chain. I was talking about Smith Chain earlier, and they like literally can't because they don't have the glove at this point in time.
Which will be an advantage to Maniacal if something's on it.
True, as long as Maniacal does like the North Dark World first and then goes back for like the Smith Chain, but I'm not sure that he will. He might just be really late to mitts the other direction. I kind of expect that even. Well, actually, you know what would be good for Maniacal? What I would expect that he'll do is like Hype Cave and then go west, and then mirror before like Village of Outcast where he can't lift the rock, and then go into Dark World again for Thieves, then go up the north side. I think that's a really efficient way to do this from his position, even not knowing the gloves are there in King's Tomb, because it puts off things like North Dark World check isn't that dense. It puts off Catfish if you don't really have to go there, but it leaves it as an option.
Did Audraxys do Catfish?
No, they didn't have the glove at the time. Could have doubled back after King's Tomb, but it's kind of a really bad dead end at that point.
Yeah, kind of icky.
So if like we have a vanilla Quakefish that's required, that could end up being bad.
Yeah, that wouldn't be nice. A little bit of lore on that. That's actually based off of the yokai, the Nazamu, which I think is Earthquake Catfish, which is why it has Quake.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, looks like Maniacal's going straight to Thieves Town. Village of Outcast area.
Yeah, this is okay. I would have liked to see the Hype Cave checks first, but this does potentially push like into Swamp more effectively, and you still get all the relatively on-path checks here in Skullwoods and in Thieves Town, like we're seeing Audra do.
It's pretty unlikely that progression's going to be in Pyramid Fairy at this point, yeah?
I don't think it can be, can it? Because
No, I don't think it can.
We just need to be able to get through TR, and that's one of our red crystals. So
I never see Pyramid Fairy be much of anything in these seeds, though.
Yeah, it does have a lot of items required to get it, especially depending on certain pendant crystal layouts. So I do agree that is a common thing.
Very nice blind fight.
Thieves, not really much slower than a Go mode Thieves Town. But nothing in there that was important.
Shovel and Sea House. Trying to think of where our ice rod and medallions could be. Shovel check, obviously, but they could be an ice palace now.
Yeah, really there's a lot of stuff that mitts are locking, including TR itself and Dark Death Mountain. That's why ice rod hunts are so gross. That's the one thing I hate about them, at least, is it in TR? And do you do Dark Death Mountain and skip TR, thinking it's not going to be in there, or do you try to put off Dark Death Mountain and pair it with Turtle Rock? It never works out well. Not just capes. We have a nice safety item now for Spike Cave.
Could be in Spike Cave.
It definitely could be.
Does Spike Cave come into logic with a certain amount of hearts, or do you need an invincibility item?
It specifically requires an invincibility item. I forget the specifics, but since Cape uses more magic, if it's Cape, you also need a bottle or half magic. If the blue cane puts it in logic, I think just the blue cane by itself is sufficient.
Audra picking up their bombas.
Yeah, and of course you can get around that a lot with extra hearts or with just a bottle of blue potion or a red potion. Did Audra really not do his race game? Okay.
I guess not.
Yeah, apparently not. Unless they really wanted to look at that red rupee again. Maybe they checked it earlier and just liked looking at that rupee on the ledge.
I do think this is interesting though, combining race game with shovel game.
Yeah, it's really smart. It's rare that it comes up outside of like cross keys, where that happens all the time. Of course, in cross keys, it's often you've seen the item already, but you're going to pick it up on your way to the dig game. But yeah, it's a good bit of routing efficiency. You know, I think it was. So maybe Audra didn't even look at the library earlier then, and just happened to check it on the way by here and grab the bombos, because they did do Kakariko a little bit differently than Maniacal.
Oh yeah,
coming from the other side, they like went down to buy bombs and then back up to the top, and then didn't want to come back down to check race game, probably because that's extra slow and you're coming out of blind set, and I just hadn't noticed it.
Alright, we're gonna check shovel spot. Ooh, Quake.
Okay. Even more likely that we can get into Turtle Rock now, once the runners pick up their other glove.
Now there's just a 33% chance that they're still locked out of Turtle Rock. So it looks like Hype Cave into Swamp Palace.
little difficulty placing the bombs.
Yeah. Oh, there's Ice Rod.
Interesting. Okay, so in this case, so if Audra understands the logic, which I would assume they do, and know that the glove is at Plasma, I think the play is to do Swamp and not the left side, just the rest of it, and then go get the glove out of Plasma and just book it straight to Death Mountain and hope the medallions that they have are enough. Since it's 2 out of 3 chance they can get in or something like that. The math doesn't quite work that way, but I don't understand how it works, so we're gonna just call it 2/3.
They do still need to do Ice Palace, so maybe they could route that into the Plasma.
Oh, there's no way to know glove is at Plasma.
Why is that?
Because they didn't need glove to get to Dark World, right?
Oh.
So everything's in logic with the one glove. Okay.
Oh no.
Right, okay.
So, we the viewers are in maybe partial no mode, but Audraxys is not.
Right.
Oh no, when does Audric go back to Plasma now?
Good question. Also, I hope that they learn how to do Specky Clip the safe way, where it's not subpixel dependent soon. Where you walk all the way to the left and then you back up into the bomb so that so that you can't get scammed by the subpixels. Just a little hot tip. I saw they took a few attempts in a prior race of getting it and seemed like they didn't understand what was going wrong, but your moving back to the right has to be like move from the left to right all in one motion to avoid getting scammed. PSA for anyone out there who is failing at Specky Clip sometimes and doesn't know why.
Well, we plucked Wave out, so we got full beam combo for Mother Brain.
Yeah, now there's actually nothing to make Turian faster at this point.
And Butter Sword. There's always a sword in Swamp.
It's the luxury swamp today.
There's always a sword in Swamp. Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of chests in here. I think it gets... Sometimes, because there's just such a big dungeon, it takes so long, people forget how many items are here. And there's no keys in chests anyways, except for the very first one. It kind of doesn't count, because it's just like part of the room.
Just to get in the door.
Yeah.
So do you think Audraxys is gonna go mode Swamp Palace?
I don't know. Like, I guess if they don't know the glove is at Plasma, they might go back for the left side here. I'm trying to think. So what else do they have available? I mean, they have like Meyer available, but that's gross because no mitts to fly there with the flute.
Oh, we've got all medallions.
And they didn't do the desert boss. I don't know if there's an item on the desert boss. Oh wait, was that the Ether?
Yeah, that was Ether.
I missed it somehow.
So we are in no mode for sure.
Oh, and Maniacal not clearing things either the north or the dark world, the north or the south, like loop from Village of Outcast. Chooses just to flute straight to Pod. I think this is a really smart play, but also it's just not going to work out for him at all.
Really, they're both doing what they need to be doing, which is clearing a bunch of dungeons, but Maniacal really needs to go to North Dark World, and Audra needs to go to Plasma.
Yeah. I'm realizing Audra might have a different setup that they use, like a specific pixel that they walk from to make the subpixels work for that specky clip, which would be really interesting of a way to get the same result with a much more complicated maneuver. And you have time, sort of, while you're waiting on the bomb to go off anyway, so it totally works. Yeah, and then that specky clip is faster, like, no matter what. Even if you're going to go back, you do the clip again. You can not have to worry about flooding this key, because you don't use it to open that one door. You don't have to wait for the water fill animation in the second room. Specky clip's kind of a nice little trick that just... it purely saves time. Alright, so... Audra's got the big chest left, too. So we get to see a third specky clip.
Oh no.
Which I do think is faster than coming back all the way from the left side, like, to the lobby. This dungeon is... it's unintuitive, and it's really difficult to time all the differences in routing from it. There's been a lot of discussions about that. I see the sub-pixel scam that I was talking about. There it is. If you walk all the way to the left and just tap your sword against the wall, it'll set you up in the right spot. Or... wait, what are they doing? What happened? Maybe that was an accidental menu?
I think they forgot a chest in left side, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know another reason why you'd go left side again.
I guess it might have been an accidental mirror instead of something else. I didn't actually see them pick up the right chest over here, only the left one, but I just assumed they got both and then mirrored out to go back to the big chest.
I did see Audraxys do a little laugh, so maybe...
Okay. Maybe he meant to hookshot across the gap and they had the mirror equipped.
I think
That's
that might
certainly
have
an
been what
option.
happened.
Yeah.
And we got the mirror shield.
And we'll never get the big chest because it's got the key inside of it.
Gonna go check Bombo's tablet now, I think.
Yeah, and then I don't know what's next. Maniacal's finishing the back of pod, and then he'll do the front, or rather the boss, which is still out there. I'm surprised he didn't already do the boss. 'Cause the big key was on the right. And that's kind of the more common play for people to make.
I think Ether tablet next.
That's a really neat cape strat from Maniacal. Especially like with the sword beams, you can just keep the cape on and then activate the switch with the sword beams. It's really smart. Probably doesn't have any value without quick swap, because the menuing would end up costing you more time than other options.
Oh no! The forbidden text.
Sometimes you feel like you need to talk to somebody, you know? Feel a little lonely, you want to talk to the friendly pink ball that's bouncing around.
Sometimes we all need somebody to talk to. Okay, where's the Audraxys going after this? Spike Cave?
Yeah, see Spike Cave here.
And then what?
I don't know. I think they're getting pinned into this plasma. They've been really efficient with how they've cleared Dark World, which is just what you want. I mean, that's very often how you win these games. Is just be efficient with full clearing things, and you can make some skips here and there, but you can't make too many. And when you're not skipping, you just do them in a good order. And Audra's also got very good movement, so that certainly helps.
Definitely.
Maniacal still could be close go mode too, though. Like, they're both really close. It's just who goes to the right spot first. Obviously, that's kind of the nature of the game sometimes, but
yeah. Are the North Dark World checks a little bit faster than the plasma check, or?
I guess Audra's going to Catfish.
Yeah.
Which Catfish kind of routes into plasma. I mean, like, they're running out of options, but Maniacal's definitely doing the, like, his route's been a little bit choppier, but he's been focusing on, like, item density and dungeons. So, like, by going from Village of Outcasts, then jumping over to Pod, then jumping over here to Hype Cave. He's not going to Hype Cave. He's going the long way to Hype Cave. Okay. He caught himself. I think he was going to go to Swamp, and then made the smart choice of grab the 5 free items first.
But he's still probably going to go into Swamp and also full clear it, so...
Yeah, I think so. He might opt to not do the left side.
Now...
There's not a lot left for him either, other than, like, some of these overworld checks in the Dark World. Which is, that's what he needs for his mitts.
I'm really curious as to where Audraxys is going. I guess this is the fastest way to Super Metroid?
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
Oh, they're going to Mire. Okay, they're going to Misery Mire. Which makes sense because Misery Mire has 2 items instead of the 1 at Plasma. Like, there's 2 out of 3 chance that it's the thing you need if we are correct that that's all that's left. Which I don't know what else would be out there. I guess I don't remember if they checked Ether Tablet either, but there are 2 items in Mire, and they have to assume that Maniacal, not only would he not be able to do that Mire check early, because where Pearl was, and that just doesn't make sense. But also, like, it's just, more items.
Yeah. I mean, I can't fault him for going with the item density play.
Yeah.
It's just not the right one. And they've checked Graveyard Ledge. They did that when they did their North Dark World checks. They did the shovel checks.
Oh, Checkerboard is there too.
I thought
they weren't able to do Checkerboard.
I thought they checked that, but oh yeah, you're right.
Maniacal did somehow, right? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I feel like somebody mirrored over there, but maybe didn't lift the rock. Maniacal did, right? Because the rock's in the light world. So you don't need the pearl for it. Yeah, Maniacal checked it because he had the glove from Plasma, right? We saw it on stream. So yeah, this is 3 items here, which makes this even more reasonable for Audra to do.
Let's just hope it's not cutscene chest.
Audra might choose to do the cutscene chest before the boss. They know that pedestal isn't required. They've already checked that with the book, I believe. I think both runners saw that. Yeah, because they both mirrored outside of Skull Woods for it. Yeah, this is a really close race. I feel like because this time is gonna this is time that Audra was pretty much just ahead based on how many checks were left. Like, they had so many fewer checks. and they still do have fewer checks remaining, but this is one I really don't see Maniacal doing basically at any point. Because there's no way Maniacal comes to Mire before King's Tomb, even if he does like some of the other overworld before King's Tomb here. Maniacal's probably just ahead at this point, though. Kind of feels like it swapped positions.
Well, we can say that when Maniacal has the approved Dark World checks. It's going back in for left side swamp right now, though.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because he's also getting a little slim on checks. He's probably going to take like the west path to Stumpy Cave 45, dig game, and then Mirror and Flute to Village of Outcasts, do the north checks at that point. I think it's going to be really close.
I always love close races.
Yeah, and this is one that at least I expected to be close, and both extremely high caliber runners that always fun to watch. They've been doing a great job. Definitely follow the runners if you like what you've seen. Both seasoned veterans and always do well in these kinds of tournaments.
And I mean, 2 hours in, they're blazing through the seed.
Yeah, I mean they've done like everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes these SMZ3s can be done at, like the absolute most jet seeds are still like I think 209 is the fastest I had, and it was against Maniacal this tournament, and I only beat him by like 5 minutes or so because it was such a jet seed. But even that's if you get everything up front, you have all the good movement for the whole game, and it's just a really easy seed. They've full cleared everything pretty much, and they're gonna hit go mode before 2:30 for both of them.
You think we'll see the sub 3 finish?
I think so, because ice will be quick once we get the mitts. I don't think neither runner's gonna be looking for anything else, so Ice Palace will be go modable.
TR will be go modable.
TR's
doesn't mean much.
Yeah, it saves a little bit of time. They got Gold Sword and Red Mail and everything, all the goodies. So I don't think they're gonna really struggle with any rooms.
And this is not fast Ganon, so they will have to traverse GT.
Right, so that could add a little bit of time, but on average, GT's, I don't know, 6 to 8 minutes, something along those lines.
Yeah, around Mother Brain fight time.
Yeah, I always just in my head group GT, Ganon, Turian, and Mother Brain all as like a little less than 20 minutes, like 15 to 20 for the whole package. Sometimes it's a little faster if you get a Big Key and Hope room, for example. Sometimes it's a little slower if you get Tile room and have to power bomb the Metroids and etc.
Alright, well, looks like Audraxys is going to Mitts, to Plasma. And Maniacal will not be very far behind with his mitts.
Yeah, he does have to mirror somewhere. He's got a mirror. He had the mirror out. Okay, there we go. He's laughing, shaking his head.
He's got this.
You got a mirror. I'm not sure where he's going. He's got a mirror. I guess he could save and quit. That's not actually good at all. I don't know where he's going. The save and quits. Oh, you know, this is fine.
Oh yeah, he's probably routing in
okay.
catfish.
I don't know if this is faster. I think.
And there's Audraxys.
It depends how
with
he
their
does
mitts.
this. Yep. All right, so that's go mode for Audra. Maniacal's doing this the slow way. This is unfortunate because you can just kind of hookshot across the river and grab those like 2 or 3 items a lot faster than it is to like backtrack this whole area. So it doesn't seem like it's on path, but it's really much more on path to do those items first. Especially because, you know, the go mode's over there. But he might be thinking, you know, it's better for him to do... Well,
oh,
you can throw a bomb, Maniacal. You can throw bombs. It's fine. It's allowed.
He'll grab the sign. It's fine. And Audraxys...
If he doesn't throw bombs, Catfish will throw bombs at him.
That's true.
Yeah, this is really interesting because he's gonna get those mitts like right as Audra leaves to Link to the Past. Basically, that's not much time difference. Huge conversion here. Yeah, I'm 95% sure you can throw bombs in there, DJ. I think as long as you throw an item, that's what matters.
I'm pretty sure it can be a bomb too, but don't quote me on that.
I've definitely done it, but I can't, like, confirm that it worked.
And here we go.
Audra shouldn't be fluting, but is. Because Ice Palace is a SM token, so they could have just done TR here on the mountain, and then gone to Ice Palace later.
Is that more efficient routing?
Yes, because they were already, like, as close to TR as you're gonna get. Even if, like, fluting there is, like, it's super, super minor. But, like, you're gonna have to go up that one little staircase outside the old man cave, you know? Like, where you spawn from. To get to, like, the lower, or the upper Norfair entrance.
Oh, so wow, like, our runners are pretty much synced up.
It's like a, what, 2 seconds, 4 second difference? But you know, that time matters in a race this close.
For sure. Oh my goodness. Oh, they're high-fiving!
Yeah, so both runners still have to do TR and GT, and those do have to be done in the proper order, because they need that 7th crystal to get into Ganon's tower, and then Ganon. And then the reset into Super Metroid.
Yeah, but it's always nice to be able to chain TR and GT together.
Oh yeah. Ooh, Maniacal being super safe here, not even trying to grab that chest in case it's a small key. I guess it's kind of safe. It's a more conservative play, because if that chest was a small key, it's a time save over lifting that rock to get the small key. Again, super, super minor, but it can save you like 2 seconds. And there's a decent chance that's a small key. I didn't see what Audra chose to do, but I enjoy seeing like these minor differences, these minor choices that so rarely matter, but still kind of add up occasionally.
And very much do matter in a race like this.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have both runners in the boss room at the same time.
Just barely, but yeah. I don't think I've seen a race quite as neck and neck as this. This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, SMZ3 is so long that the chances of something causing divergence and really spreading runners out is so high, but like like it's a close race even if they're not this close after 2.5 hours. I like the way like Apathy Duck always says is like if it's he always compared it as in like, you know, if it's a close race and it's still up in the air for 2 hours, it's a close SMZ3 even if the finish isn't a couple minutes apart. And this one might be that close. I am confused by why Maniacal's going to SM right now, but
I guess Maniacal wants to clear Mother Brain first?
I think this is totally fine. It's probably actually faster because you can, like, he's not going to get anything that's going to help his Mother Brain, you know. Nothing's going to speed up this fight at this point. Except for maybe another E-Tank if he, like, gets catch-upped and can't do stand-up because he's only got 8.
Well, he has a
Something
couple
like that.
reserve
Like,
tanks, so...
True, but I don't think they're not currently active, so... Either way, very, very niche. I guess they'll be active when he kills a Metroid and picks up the drops. This does cut out the lag in the escape is the actual advantage to this. The IRL disadvantage is that you have to watch the 18-minute long credits at the end of the game when you do Super Metroid first. But that's after the race is over, so you know, it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, I mean, really, there's nothing he's going to find in either location that's going to speed up either game, as it's astutely pointed out. I guess this is the way you really save the animals without having to slow down, because the planet never explodes and the animals don't die.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it is always nice to see like side-by-side Turians if it ends up being that close. But this is certainly interesting in its own right because we just really don't know how close it is. There'll be no way to know until like they're both on their final boss potentially at the same time.
Keeping us in suspense, and
Yeah.
Maniacal looks like he's gonna go try for a baby skip.
Yep, nice laggy one, just to clear everything out, make it a little bit more comfy. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Way better to, nicely done. Way better to spend a little extra time to guarantee you get it than go for it and fail. And you're kind of like you're hit twice with it. One for wasting time setting up, and then you still failed and missed it. So it's a big punish.
But Maniacal got it.
Yeah, nicely done. No speed Zeb skip attempts here. No Zeb skip at all. Okay, he's doing the spring ball Zeb skip or whatever it's called there. Nice.
And we're into Mother Brain. All right. That baby skip might make all the difference. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say anything, shouldn't curse anybody, but I would expect both runners to get that most of the time. So, yeah, even though it's impressive, I'm not trying to like dog on Maniacal. Like, he's good enough that he's going to get it almost every time. It's kind of not a given, but most likely he's going to get it. And same with Audra.
Fair enough.
Wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for either to miss, but good stand-up setup here. I don't think he didn't have a menu anywhere to take Varia off, so gonna have to damage down a little extra. Which is a little scary without those reserves on, but it's fine.
Everything's fine. Audraxys is gonna grab the small key off of Laser Bridge. First chest. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty straightforward Turtle Rock. We didn't have vanilla big key or the bad key layout where the two smalls are locked behind the really out of the way chests.
Nice fast Trinex. Of course, it's easier with the golden butter sword.
Yeah. So far, this is a really good stand-up, too. I don't think any onion rings got missed, which is the most important thing, really, to make sure that none of those miss extending how long this phase is, but also Maniacal's getting a lot of shots in, maybe undercharged like one, or a couple, I don't know, maybe it's more than one. Yeah, that was 3 or 4 shots at the end, which is still really good.
And Audraxys is done with TR, heading straight into GT.
Yeah, the GT routing actually could make a huge difference here. I don't keep very good track of what runners do what. Oh, let's go. Nice blue bomber. Michael almost always goes for that. That's great strat.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to do. I can do it in the practice act, but I certainly can't do it in a race.
And this is GT Big Key location 1 through 21, I think it is?
22.
22, okay.
Yep.
Where do you think it is?
Oh, I don't know. I'll say rando room just because there's a lot of chests there.
I'm gonna be mean and say vanilla Big Key location.
Okay. I mean, that's not as mean as it gets, since it could always be in the tile room that no one wants to do.
I guess so.
But at least tile room would force our runners to do the same, well, to do all the checks, since they're not doing that early.
I've seen some runners do it early.
Yeah, there's people that do that. I think Nidorific is one of the top runners that does do that frequently. I don't know if he does it all the time, but I've seen it help him out, like win races, and I've seen it cost him races. So, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you do tile room first and it's not there, you just lost a minute and a half. But if it is there, you potentially come back from a deficit.
I guess it just depends on how behind our runners are feeling.
Yeah, or how much you've meta'd yourself into thinking you know what they're going to do and how you're going to beat them, which some players are really good at and some are not. I think Maniacal's more the type of person that he just kind of plays his own game, whereas Audra, they're really good at knowing what would give them an advantage over their opponent at any given time. So
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's so much a different mental game from certain players.
What's your preference?
For GT specifically, I just kind of do what feels right.
That's fair.
Mostly stick to my own game.
And it was rando
there we
room.
go.
You got it.
All right.
You have the
There's a chance Maniacal does like the Dark Magician or fake Dark Magician or whatever you want to call it route, where he does the Stalfos room and then mirrors and goes to the right side, and that could cost him a good chunk of time. But I don't know if he's likely to do that.
From what I know of Link to the Past, that is a fairly popular route, but
yeah, it certainly is. But that's like the most likely thing that Maniacal would do here that would lose time. I don't really see him doing anything to save time over Audra's route. So, assuming, since they've done different things, since they like converged on Ice Palace, assuming that Maniacal hasn't gained or lost any time, is still like a room behind and not going to catch up based on that routing, at the very least. He might not look at his map in the gauntlet.
theoretically, we don't know. There's some good info on that map.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to do sometimes. I have definitely been there. Turner's taken some extra damage. Audra getting kind of bullied around a little bit in Gauntlet. Maniacal having to take that anti-fairy to recover some health in TR. Maniacal might have just not refilled health after a save and quit. I don't recall seeing him take a lot of damage. Except for like that on purpose, to get unbunnied. Oh, neat dash to finish off Lanmo.
Is it faster to do it with the Butter Sword and Fire Rod than it is to do it with Silver Arrows?
Yes, but I don't know by how much. The Silver Arrows are more laggy, so it is definitely a tiny bit faster, but it's not a big difference.
Very clean.
It's more of a big difference for Audra, again, because they don't use quick swap, so not having to menu to the silvers and then back to... I guess you'd menu to Kane after that, but not having to menu to the bow in the first place saves them a little bit of time.
That's very fair.
Or wait, they were already on bow. They might have menued to Fire Rod for the last room of Gauntlet to guarantee the damage on the on the Stalfos. Oh, and Maniacal took the key from the big chest. So he skipped the Crystal Roller Room chest, and he's going to skip Laser Bridge. I don't think that's a time save overall here, but like if it was the last key on Laser Bridge, it might have been a time save to do that. Yeah, he took the safe key route, mitigating a potential big time loss for a likely small time loss.
So interesting to see how differently both runners play.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of the most fun things about these tournaments in general. Like, no race looks the same, even if you had the same seed for like 2 races, 4 different runners, it would totally be different every time. Just because little different things they would do, different decisions, different execution, different like mindsets.
Audraxys on their Aga2 fight, getting him pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And straight to Ganon. This should be a pretty easy Ganon fight for these runners. Butter Sword, Silvers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the real question is Maniacal's GT going to be faster, or is Audra's Turian going to be faster? And it's that's super interesting also because, especially lately, Audra's been a lot more practiced at Super Metroid, even though they have a ton of experience with both games. And Maniacal's the same way, but way more experienced recently in Link to the Past. So they're going to be a little sharper on the game they're finishing with.
It looks like Maniacal's going the same route as Audraxys in GT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good for him. As long as he doesn't mirror after the Stalfos room here.
And one singular G to Audraxys.
And Ether. Okay. Interesting. That was a lot quicker than I expected it to be. I forgot they just poof out from Ether. And that's a relatively quick medallion animation. Quick swap making that a viable way to clear the room. There's not a lot to say at the moment, but it's still a very tense race, and it's hard to make that like.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're in different places, so we can't like.
I'm actually just on the edge of my seat. They're so close. Michael gonna get his big key and start the climb.
Something of note, Audra's health is really low right now. They're not likely to die by any means, especially with reserves, some number of them. But they probably won't have enough health for stand-up.
They may not opt to do baby skip.
They're definitely going to go for it. They may not reach it, or like they may not succeed, but they're going to go for it for sure.
Fair enough. I guess when you're already... Yeah.
And we're seeing, like, Maniacal's Metroid rooms were really good, but Audra's were just even better. And I kind of expect the same for the Gauntlet rooms that Maniacal's about to do, being just a little better than Audra's. Which is really cool to see. If you see it done really well, then you see it done even better, you know, back to back.
Absolutely.
But, you know, maybe not. Maybe Maniacal will get beat up too.
Looks like
apparently, at least the first room.
Nicely done on baby skip.
Yeah, another nice baby skip.
And we're into Mother Brain. Got the clip.
Nice.
And there are the silver arrows on Lane Road 2.
Yeah, I was a little surprised Maniacal took that health refill there. That it throws off the cycles for the Landmolas and makes it so you're almost guaranteed to get the 2-round or more. Whereas with the silvers, Maniacal's it's definitely capable of getting a 1-round pretty frequently. Even with Red Mail, choosing to take that safety and get the health was a little surprising. But I guess he can avoid getting the health at the top of GT here, which is, I don't know, maybe it's a bigger time loss at the top than that one. I don't know. feel like the one at the top is better for a lot of runners because it's 2 fairies with 1 powder use. So it's like guaranteed full health no matter what for Ganon. Yeah, so no stand-up on Audra's side.
Oh.
That's making a difference potentially. Oh no, the Moldorm! That's really
Oh
bad.
no!
It's also
so
making a
tight!
difference.
Oh no!
I feel like Audra saved more time on Turian than Maniacal did anywhere in Link to the Past. And he pulled ahead a little bit more, but it's hard to say. This is like 30 extra Hyper Beam shots that Audra's going to have to take.
It's totally up in the air. I have no clue who's gonna win this.
I don't either. It also depends on this Aga fight, which is really, really important, and these are not seeded patterns. So they can warp to different places. Whether or not you get a blue ball attack is different. That's an awful pattern. And a blue ball. Which is not this is a great pattern. Oh, this just misses the triple. This is also a pretty good pattern.
And we got it.
Maniacal not reducing shield lag by hugging the wall. The frames.
The frames might matter.
Audra grabbed the wall. We saw it. At least I did. I didn't point it out, but they definitely grabbed the ceiling. And Ganon warps are not seeded either. I don't know if it matters because Mother Brain is dead. A nice clean Mother Brain 3.
And now escape.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've seen a tighter race than this.
Yeah, this is crazy. Really important Leodox room. No Moonfall. Audra's one of the few holdouts that doesn't Moonfall. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
The steam matters because everything matters and it's this close.
Oh my gosh.
And there's Audra in the ship. And there's Maniacal at the finish. GG's to both. That is an insane finish.
Oh my goodness. GG's. Oh my lord.
Official race times are 2:49.08 and 2:49.13. A 5-second finish. Absolutely incredible. The explosion and the white screen fade out and Link to the Past simultaneously. Because they're just that close. I hope we get both of them in for an interview. That was a great seed. It was a lot of fun to watch. All the differences, and I don't know what to say. Like literally that Moldorm fall, like any one thing. And it looks like we're joined now by both Maniacal and Audraxys. GG's to both of you. What an insane race that was.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, GG.
Well, congratulations to both of you.
Jeez.
We don't both get that. Give that to Audra.
I mean, you both played great and had made it very exciting to watch.
we both, I think we both probably had our decent moments, but, you know, when the seed started to go wrong, I definitely made all these, like, little small errors due to tilt and just try not to have it go worse, and, like I miscounted left side swamp, and, like, I thought there was only one item, and then when I menued and I mirrored, I realized, oh wait, big key, I have map and compass already, so there's another item left, and there are like so few spots for mitts, and you know, the whole mitts and swamp meme, that I had to go back for it. And then, like, I even, like, I failed Specky once, and it's like, if I failed it again, like, it's just little things like that could have made a difference.
Yeah, I definitely criticize you for failing Specky, because it's... You can fix the subpixels.
Yeah, if you use the rail and you back up continuously, the subpixel's guaranteed. So
not
like,
that.
if I
you just
go
have to be sure you don't stutter the backup. It's kind of like Raiden Pot in that regard.
Do you mean like if I go and I touch the left rail?
Yeah, that'll normalize your subpixels.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
yeah.
That's the trick.
It was just so easy that, like, I put, like, no effort into, like, understanding how it works.
Yeah, I went back and figured out the subpixel thing the first time it went really badly for me. I was just like, okay, why is this easy thing failing? And it's the same subpixel thing that you run into with Herapot. Or any bomb boost, really.
Yeah, makes sense. So I was convinced that space jump was, like, when I got high jump and screw attack from Paradox, I was convinced that I was like, oh, that's plasma in logic. That's probably space jump for lower Norfair. That's there. So I'll just go to lower Norfair, get my pearl, and then when I found space jump in the pyramid, I was just like, oh, the seed wanted you to do Aga, pearlless Aga for that. That's gross. But then I was just like, oh, plasma's probably bait. There's couldn't possibly be anything important there.
Yeah, I had the glove almost assuredly earlier, just from being really, really thorough and trying to hope that... So after the really bad Eastern death, I think I must have messed up my altitude variable and, like, took a really bad bounce and died. And so I was feeling very bad and wanted to gamble to follow gravity into Meridian. So was just completely thorough in Meridian on the first pass. But felt good about the glove. And then it was like a 65-35 in terms of volume that Pearl was on the pyramid instead of space jump. So I just went to Aga, and it obviously didn't work out.
Yeah. The big thing for me at the end was to, like, I had 3 items in the mire area that I wasn't able to do because no bombos, no pearl, no glove to lift checkerboard. So at the end, I'm just like, okay, let's go back to Mitzless Pendant Mire to look for Mitz, right?
Yeah, you guys were both looking for your mitts, and it was really tense. I mean, the whole race was tense.
But the end, especially.
The end, especially. Definitely, you should watch it back, because it was neat seeing you do, you know, GT and Turian side by side, then flipping and doing the opposite, and it was still like we have no idea who's ahead the whole time.
And
like,
you finished
every little
with
thing, like, no stand-up health, so it's like that's a time loss. But then the Noldorm fall, like, who's ahead?
I'm still so livid.
Scammed on the dash, yeah.
Like, getting frame rolled on that dash is so gross.
Yeah.
And I was just so frustrated that I decided to not hover it. And then that was the time difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that because every little thing when it's that close is the time difference. But
exactly. I mean, the extra cycle on Ganon, there's a bunch of stuff. You can point to anything when you're looking at 5 seconds, but you know, just getting RNG'd like that at the end feels pretty gross. But I made so many mistakes throughout that, I mean, you can't blame it on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a long race, so there's you both made a few mistakes, but obviously played great the rest of the time to put on such a good close race, even full clearing like everything between the two of you.
Yeah, I'm glad it ended up being at least a close race that was entertaining from the other side. It wasn't particularly fun to be in the Crucible and playing this one, but at least it was entertaining.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was not having much fun for like the last 30 minutes.
Yep. But GG, good luck against MM2. It seems like we're getting the boot here, so
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and hop out. But GG's.
GG's,
GG.
everybody. Have
Yeah,
a good night.
GGs. Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for coming with me, Fox, and thanks for the tracking, Diometheus. GG's to the runners, and we'll see you next mission.